Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, David Lemieux, Canada. He'll be back in the ring October 22nd versus a guy named Christian Rios. Now, as we know, that David Lemieux was supposed to fight Curtis Stevens, and then HBO didn't have the money to make the fight due to their budget cuts. But this article here that I found on BoxingScene.com from the great Steve Kim, shout out to him in BoxingScene.com, he wrote about how, David Lemieux and his promoter, they're looking for Canelo Alvarez in 2017. Now, this is not a fight that I think is going to happen, but it is going to be a fight I think should happen. So that's why I'm talking about it, because if I can do my little part here, and maybe the right person sees it, maybe I could push them towards making that fight. Who knows, man? But anyway, this is what the article said, and his whole management team, David Lemieux's management team, Camille Stefan, ahead of the Eye of the Tiger Promotions. Here's what he said about David Lemieux potentially fighting Canelo. He said, I quote, "What we would like to do is fight Canelo, and it's a matter of putting David in positions where the fight is appealing to the fans as possible. So the bottom line with David, it's about him impressing the fans, impressing the media, impressing us like he always does, and showing that he's going to be a big step for Canelo. If Canelo wants to go to 160. I'm sure a lot of boxers would love to fight him, but I think David Lemieux and Canelo will be a surefire attraction for all boxing fans around the world. So we'll see what Canelo wants to do. Now, this is a fight that I think if he's going to fight GGG and Golden Boy Promotions is going to say all these things about how Canelo needs a tune-up fight and how he needs to get settled into 160, even though he rehydrates like 175 on fight night. If they're going to use those BS excuses, I think this is the fight they should take, because David Lemieux is a fighter that is a former world champion, one of the most, pound for pound, if he made a top 15 hardest punchers list, pound for pound, one of the top 15 hardest punchers in boxing. And it's still a good fight for Canelo, because while he is a really great puncher, David Lemieux doesn't have a whole ton of skill. He's a great puncher. If he lands, he's a great puncher, great athlete, but he's not really the best boxer. And I still think, in some ways, it is a good fight for Canelo in that aspect. But if you are Canelo's team, you're probably very weary of that punching power, his athletic ability, his ability to just be explosive and really rip thunderous shots. There's a reason why when he fought Golovkin, Lemieux fought Golovkin, that GGG was on his back foot and he was jabbing most of the night, and you didn't see the Golovkin that comes forward. It's because he had to respect his power. One of the only fighters that GGG has ever fought like that against, because he respected his power, was David Lemieux. So what does that say about David Lemieux and how explosive of a puncher he is? It says a lot that GGG fought that way against him. Now, this fight makes a lot of sense, honestly. It makes a lot of sense for a couple of reasons, because, like I said, I mentioned the 160 thing with Canelo and how Golden Boy said he has to get acclimated to 160, whatever. There's that, and getting a good name on his resume if he could beat him. There's that whole aspect, but I'm going to quote Floyd Mayweather. David Lemieux's got a country behind him, okay? David Lemieux has a country behind him. Canelo has a country behind him, so it makes sense. Canada versus Mexico, which is a fight that, not to say that Canada is like the boxing hub of America, or David Lemieux has like a ridiculous fan base, but I'm sure he has his fair share of fans in Canada, and he's gonna get a good crowd out there at the Bell Center for this fight against Christian Rios. So when you're bringing countries to the table, I always think it's good for international ratings. And Canelo's going to do good international ratings anyway, because of him being a very big draw in Mexico. So with that being said, I hope it happens, at some point, because I feel like David Lemieux, although he did lose to Golovkin, he's to be very applauded, because after he picked up the IBF title, he could have sat on it for a while, took some easy title defenses, but he didn't do that. He wanted to really prove himself as one of the better fighters of boxing, and he took on arguably the most feared fighter in the game today in Golovkin. And did he get outclassed? Did he get destroyed? The answer to that is a resounding yes. But is David Lemieux a bum, like a lot of you guys suggest? No, he's definitely not. And you guys saw that when he fought, and I know he's not the best fighter, but he fought Glenn Tapia, who is a name opponent. Glenn Tapia's been in there with some guys, and he blasted Glenn Tapia out of there. So Lemieux's a good fighter, and I think he should get a chance to prove himself at the top level against another big name in the sport. So Canelo, Oscar De La Hoya, sign the contract. Don't duck David Lemieux. Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.